The excerpt from Waterloo was shown by courtesy of Columbia Warner. Starting next Friday, a new series of Roy Castle Beats Time, in which Roy meets established stars and the musicians of tomorrow. Roy Castle Beats Time, next Friday at 4:50.
Are you ready? Play away!
On Easter Saturday, the Playaway company, headed by Brian Cant, present a holiday program for all the family.
It really doesn't matter if it's raining or it's fine.
The spring is sprung, the grass is riz. Spring arrives in Playaway and everybody is bouncing with health or rubber feet.
Play away, play, away, play.
Julie and David discovered that dining in a restaurant called The Singing Waiter can mean more songs than food.
Get it together.
A royal box, a soap box or a matchbox, Brian and company bounce up in some unexpected places.
Play away, play away, play, away, play.
David discovers that Mr. Biddery's garden is awfully spidery, not to mention the muddery and spuddery. With snail races, yo-yos, tricks and jokes, there's a smile on everyone's face. Join Brian Cant, Tony Arthur, Julie Stevens, David Wood and the band for Playaway's special Easter Saturday programme on BBC Two.
In just under 10 minutes, Lizzie dripping again. First on BBC One, John Craven's Newsround.
Some of the blockading fishermen say they'll move their boats. Hello again. The fishermen's blockade of the Humber is over, at least for the moment. The barrier of 80 ships, which has been in place since last Friday outside the port of Grimsby, was called off this morning. But the fishermen haven't won any of their demands for a ban on the imports of cheap foreign fish. They've only moved their boats because of the threat of court action by the officials who run the docks. The blockade may be back, but it'll all depend on whether or not other British fishermen decide to support them. On the Tyne, the harbour blockade was lifted last night, but fishermen at Aberdeen haven't decided yet. This afternoon, leaders from Humberside flew to Aberdeen to try and persuade men there to join the protest. A few minutes ago, we received this report from Jack Regan.
There were some 75 men from the north of England and from all over Scotland at the meeting, which will decide whether to impose a new blockade on the ports. The Scots say they've got about 1,000 vessels ready to go into action the moment a decision is taken, and their targets range from small ports to major harbours. The Scottish skippers have been keeping their vessels in port since Monday, but there have been demands for more militant action. A decision is expected late tonight.
In a last-ditch attempt to save their school, children from Birmingham's Moseley Art School arrived in London today. They're protesting against the merger of their school with a comprehensive in September. They've also sent a petition to the Queen, and today 30 pupils arrived in London to petition the Prime Minister. When Margaret Thatcher was education chief, she gave their school a reprieve, but now that's run out. This is their last hope. Philip Hayton spoke to one of the protesters.
Why don't you want your school to be merged as part of a comprehensive?
Well, the art test, it was really hard, and what's the use of taking an art test if the art school is not going to be an art school no more?
What good do you think your protest here to the Prime Minister is going to do?
I think it's going to do quite a lot.
In Vietnam today, the already unstable government was threatened by an attempted coup. So far, at least 7 people have been arrested for trying to overthrow the government. And the situation for the South Vietnamese is becoming more desperate. Not only are civilians fleeing from the highlands, but their soldiers are crowding onto boats in a desperate attempt to reach safety. They've left many refugees behind, still struggling to make it through the fighting. But with South Vietnam losing much of their territory to the communists, the surviving army seems to be in chaos. Both officers and men are more concerned with leaving the fighting than protecting the refugees. They're hoping to get to the capital city of Saigon and the comparative safety of the south of the country. Children playing on a demolition site have discovered almost a ton of deadly chemicals, enough, say the police, to poison a whole city. but the children themselves came to no harm. They found the chemicals, including cyanide, arsenic and nitric acid, in an old building on the site at Solihull in Warwickshire. It's thought they'd been there for more than 20 years, and the police have launched a big investigation. Heavy snowfalls have today marked the start of the long Easter weekend in many parts of the country, and the weathermen tell me they expect more snow showers in the next few days. Well, the last time it snowed at Easter was 5 years ago, when Easter was also at the end of March. And in spite of the snow in London today, a group of young Welshmen set out to push a piano 170 miles to Caerphilly. They're doing it to raise money for the blind, and they hope to raise enough to buy 2 guide dogs. Rhys Jones was there to see them leave.
Fantastic! What are they doing so far?
Well, are you actually going to push this all the way to Wales?
I'll pull it.